Hey there. Would you like to have your transition to Panama be one that is kind of seamless with not too many wrinkles and allowing you a very enriched experience? That's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about the mistakes you should avoid, the things you need to focus on to make your transition a wonderful experience. Are you ready? Are you curious? Yes. If you just got here, I would think those are the things that you would want someone to say, hey, sis, how about this? Consider this, right? Because I believe that we should all be in a mindset of being a student and being able to receive information and not coming across as a know-it-all. I am not a know-it-all. I am always willing to learn from other folks, right? And that's why I did the homework. I asked the questions. And I think that's not because I'm lucky, but that's the kind of person I am. I'm a research-driven type of individual. All right. So I am Maggie. I have been here almost 3 years as a retiree. I'm a retired nurse practitioner. And to tell you the truth, and listen, this is not hyperbole. This is not trying to come across as a know-it-all or no. I just love being here, period. And I'm not the only one. Most of the sisters I know I talk to are very, very happy to be here. And I have had very few wrinkles in terms of negative things. I can't really, yes, I got pickpocketed, I got robbed. I don't even think about it in that way. Yes, I got scammed and charged $1,000, but that did not affect my love for Panama because in both instances, I was in the wrong for not doing the things I should have done. So, and also in my mind, I'm of the opinion of my attitude is always, oh, well, it's only money. That's a good attitude to have. And then it's like, I'm not perfect. And then it's like, well, what can I learn from this experience? How can I position myself so that this does not happen to me again? And that's one of the things we're going to talk about right now, just changing your mindset so that you embrace the information that is being provided to you in this video. All right, sis? Sir, are you ready? I say sir because yesterday in my live, this gentleman said, but what about us, single men? We need community too. And I was like, you can start your own group. He said, but I want to be in Maggie's group. And I'm like, no, we are not going to start a unisex and, people dating and that's too complicated. We don't have time for that. Go start your own group, which is what I told him. But anyway, I am, like I said, I'm retired, and I'm also the creator of SWRA Single Women Retiring Abroad, our lovely group of beautiful sisters. We are on our way to creating this model of aging that is going to be love-based, friendship-based, and we want to be committed as a sisterhood to caring for each other, right? This is what it's all about as we age. So one of the sisters said, kind of like a sorority. I said, yes, except it's for old women. But listen, there is no need to reinvent the wheel, right? We can just take the principles and apply it to us. So, what are some things that you should focus on, or some things that I'm going to bring to your attention that you should focus on to make your transition in your early time in Panama one that is smooth and enjoyable? I have 11. So let's get going because I don't want to be here for too long. The number one mistake that I think some people make, because, renting an apartment is one of the biggest decisions you're going to make. If you have done a consultation with me, I tell you when when you've done all the upfront work, right? Your house and everything is done. You got your suitcases. Don't bring 6, 7 suitcases. You don't need it. But that's what you want to do. You want to pay for that. Go ahead. You bring your stuff with you. And then I said, book an Airbnb for a minimum of 3 weeks. Well, now recently, I think you need longer. I would say 4 to 6 weeks. You know why? Because finding an apartment has proven to take a little bit longer now. If you watch a video I did a couple of weeks back, I talked about is gentrification affecting prices here in the city? I don't know about outside the city. I think the prices there are kind of pretty stable, but in Panama City, prices have risen. And it's just supply and demand, which is what I said, because so many people are coming here, and they're not only Americans. The real estate people will tell you that. So the inventory is becoming a bit of a challenge. A couple of, maybe even up to a year ago, when people are like, oh my God, what if I don't get an apartment? I'm like, oh, don't worry, there is plenty of inventory. Well, I don't know. Because some sisters have had a hard time and it has taken them a little while to find an apartment, longer than the 3 weeks. Okay? Because again, I mentioned that the realtors are not willing to talk to you if you're not ready to do it right then. If you're dilly-dallying and you want to see 50 apartments, they're not doing that anymore, right? And I even told you that some sisters have reported to me that some real estate agents are asking them to be paid for the day to go out and show you apartments. I don't know if there is a law against that, but like I said, when I was in Rwanda, I remember being told that yes, you would be charged $50 for each showing. I don't know. I don't know how that's going, how widespread that is. Maybe it was an outlier. Maybe it was that one person doing that because you're gonna have people trying to squeeze something out of you again because they see dollar sign when they see you. Okay, so it's taking you longer, which might cause you to go over budget. Make sure you keep when you look at your numbers, you say, I can do between 1,000 and 1,200. That's my limit. And sometimes I tell people, don't even tell the real estate agent, but they usually want you to tell them what your budget is. I mean, I think I would tell them like $100 less than what your top number is because sometimes they up the price so they can get the uppercut. So if the owner says $1,000 and they told you 1,200, then the 200 is theirs. But I can tell you for sure that, and I'm not going to discuss my rent online, but what I paid when I came up here in this building, they're charging $200-300 more per month for the same units. And the owners are playing hardball. They are not hardball. They are not willing to negotiate prices down. All right. So keep that in mind. So don't go over budget because you feel pressured. That is a danger. All right. Also, there's a copycat thing that I talk about because somebody may come to your apartment and all of a sudden they say, oh, I like it. I want one just like this one. Well, you may not find one just like this one, but it may have the other features that you're looking for. As a single woman, you should be concerned with safety, accessibility. You want the backup generator for the power outages. We have a water backup tank here, which is nice. We have all electric in the building. This is something that is really important to me. I don't know if it's to you, because if you are someone who is used to using gas, it may not bother you. I've never used gas in the city. I mean, when I was at home, because I still heard of the explosions, the homes because of a gas leak. So, and in October, we had another one here where 2 people died. So those are things you need to decide for yourself if that's important. Okay? And that and location will determine how much you pay. And the best thing is to ask people around. Of course, you can't grab a stranger in the street and say, how much is your rent? Okay, so that is a danger. The other danger I look at in terms of the rental is spending a lot of money decorating an apartment that at the end of the 1 year lease, you may not want to stay in. So if you go and you paint the walls, you buy drapes and all kinds of things, and then it's noisy or you don't like the landlord and you want to get out, all that money down the drain. So be smart, okay? I have not bought anything here, and I've been here almost 2 years. So I'm like, I have some paintings. I'm finally at a point because my lease is getting ready to renew. And if I renew with because they automatically renew, I don't have to sign anything. And the owner hasn't said anything to me. And I think December 10th is when my lease renews. So I'm finally going to frame some of my paintings. I found a framing place and put something on the wall because everything has been bare. I'm like, this is not my house. I don't want to pay a lot of money to do anything. Yeah, and and I'm comfortable. I don't need all the bells and whistles. No. So be careful. And the last thing I want to say about the rental is you may want to consider your not preferred areas, right? In Panama City, I tell people those are the areas where you're going to find most expats. Costa del Este, Balboa Avenue, Bay Vista, Punta Pacifica Paitilla, San Francisco is a very popular one, and El Congrejo. Well, you have others like Albrook, is it Albrook? I guess it's in that area there. But there are other areas that are less known, like El Dorado, Condado del Rey. There is Edison Park, right? So you have some options where Pueblo Nuevo, you may have apartments that are not as pricey because there you have a lot of the general population living there. And this lady wrote something. She's like, well, I'm paying much less because I didn't go by those preppy areas. Because again, if the owners know, like my building is popular, of course they're going to up the price because the demand is high. Demand is high. So be wise as you rent your apartment. Understand that there is a little bit of pressure, and especially now we're going into the dry season. Demand is going to continue to be high, in addition to visitors and tourists coming in because people like to come here more when it's not raining every day, right? We just had some rain. It looks like it's clearing up, but the light is going bad. So I hope you can still see me. Number two, trying too hard to fit in. Mm. As an adult, when you make such a big move, the anxiety is that I don't know anybody there. Will I be able to make friends? There are a lot of people you can make friends with, but how does that work for you? Do you make friends easily? I don't. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? I'm a severe introvert. Do you need people to be around you to feel alive and accepted and connected? That's on you, sis. So when you first get here, give yourself time. Of course, getting your apartment is number one. Although I would say number one is getting your phone, right? Because I had a sister come here and she's like, how do I get a SIM card? And I'm like, well, we talked about that in the videos before, that at the airport, you buy a 3-day or a 7-day SIM card so you can have Wi-Fi when you come outside of the airport because the Wi-Fi at the airport is iffy anyway, right? And for safety reason, you want to have your phone with Wi-Fi. So another SIM card or that eSIM people talk about, the Holofly, I haven't looked into that, but certainly you can look into that. But you need Wi-Fi. So you need your phone, you need a local number because when you go turn your water on, when you need any kind of service, that's what they want. They don't want your number from the US or Canada, wherever you're from. All right. So as you like, okay, I need a place to stay. So that should be assignment number one, right? And with the looking for an apartment, that's a lot of work. Let's say you seeing 2, 3 homes a day. I encourage you to take your phone or a notebook and write everything about each apartment, where there are two beds, two bathrooms, the kitchen. Just write everything and take your flashlight, look around, open drawers. I have a checklist for you. You know that in one of the videos, I give you a checklist, a rental checklist. Go by it. Then make sure you look at the lease, have it translated in English, have your attorney look at it and tell you what your responsibilities are. And then the landlord has to notarize it. Another thing that is something you need to, I'm talking about rental again. I thought I had left it, is to make sure that your responsibilities are spelled correctly, that it is notarized, okay? And whatever it comes with. My landlord came in and just looked at everything that she's leaving so that I don't take anything with me. I don't want anything here, that's for sure. I got my table. All right, sorry. I was on number two, trying too hard to fit in. I guess I just want to impress upon you how important it is to make that first decision and make it a big one, a wise one, finding your home. Because once they give you the keys and you come in, this is going to be your sanctuary, right? And you go in to take care of it because wherever you are, you want to be comfortable. This is your home, your abode, right? So once you settled in, the air conditioner is working, you get the Nature G for your electric turned on and onto your name. That's what I recommend. And you got your cell phone, you're good. Of course, you found where your food store is, your pharmacy. So you set your hospital, your doctor in that immediate area. So now you want to feel connected, right? And you want to make some friends. And I told you you're supposed to have sign on, join some fake Facebook groups, make comments. That's how you become active so they can get used to your name, ask questions, read the comments. Don't be like in the background, they never know who you are. And some of them will make you introduce yourself to the group. That is a good way to connect with people. When they invite you to those events, as long as it's not too many, go, go. And that's when you go, hi, I'm Maggie. I just got here. How are you? You start connecting with people. And it's easier for some people than others. I have no problem walking a room and just going there, shaking hands with people I don't know, because that's what I did in business. That's what we did in business. But I do realize it's a little bit of a discomfort for some people. But when you come to a place you don't know anybody, you have got to make yourself be uncomfortable and open your mouth and talk to people. And you'll be surprised how you're going to find somebody you connect with. But don't just grab somebody and just hijack them and don't go anywhere. Some people do that when they're uncomfortable in a social setting. They find this one person and they latch on and they don't allow this person to go be with anybody else. Don't do that. That's not no bueno. But pace yourself, right? But go, make the contacts, extend your hand, talk to people, tell them about you, who you are. You don't have to tell them your shoe size and how many kids you have, but just your interest and why you're in Panama. And ask questions. Where do you find this? Where do you find that? That's how people get connected. All right. Number three, don't overdo it with the food. Oh my gosh. Listen. People come here and it's like they lose their mind because they're like, I can get a whole dinner for $5. So they're like, I don't have to cook again. I can go to a fonda every day. Don't do that. Just because the food is cheap does not mean that it is good for you to eat every single day. The Panamanian diet is, yeah, rice, beans, chicken, plantains. That's it. So you have to be intentional to add your vegetables. Go get the fresh fruit. Find out where your fruteria is. Donde Avi, where you can go like the little mini farmers market so you can get your fresh eggs and pineapple. You need to find those places. And as a whole food plant-based person, I can tell you, eat at home. Yes, in the beginning, I want you to try the sancocho. I want you to try the guacho. I want you to try it all, but don't be in a rush to do it all at one time. Some people say they don't lose it, they have lost weight without trying. I don't think it's the food, which is what some people will tell you. Yes, the food is fresher, right? It doesn't have all these additives. But more than anything, I think what is making you lose weight is the lack of cortisol that is spewing throughout your body, the constant stress that you were on over there, just breathing, stepping out of your house. Don't know if you're going to get shot, you get arrested. That level of stress keeps you fat. So when you come to a place like this and you don't have to worry about that, yes, you're going to lose weight because you're more relaxed. But don't go to the funders every day. Try to cook for yourself. Make good choices. Give yourself time to experience the food here. But of course, I know some expats who don't try the regular food, the local food. They go to Michael's and Charlie's Cream. They're looking for the pancakes and all of that. Yeah, you can have that. But listen, and there's a point here about learning the culture. You need to try the food. That's how you're going to learn the culture. All right. So just because the food is cheap doesn't mean you need to eat it every day, okay? Don't do that. Maggie told you. All right. Are you enjoying this chat? Please make sure you like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. You know, when I wait to 20,000, it's just crawling, crawling. But you know what? I am not worried. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Your sis here, I don't worry about stuff like that. I just keep my nose to the ground and do what I need to do. That's it. And let the ships fall where they may. All right? Thank you for your support, though. I appreciate it. Shout out to my channel members. I appreciate you, ladies. All right, number 4. Not seeing the benefits of learning the language. Uh-oh, I'm meddling now, I know. And just because I speak Spanish and, not perfect, and I teach Spanish, but if you're interested in any country where they speak a different language, you should have started to learn something before you got here. And I get it. People's like, even I have some sisters who are planning to get here, and they're like, oh, I'm so busy doing this, doing that. I get it. I get it. But it's just like working out. If you say, I have 24 hours, let's say I sleep for 8 hours, I have 16 hours left. You can find 30 minutes to work out and to study your Spanish. That's 1 hour in a 16-hour day. If you don't do it, it's because you're not disciplined enough. That's what I'm saying. You make time to take a shower, to brush your teeth, to eat, same thing. But it depends on the level of importance that you're giving to those items. If they're important to you, you're going to find time. You know I'm right, right? So learning the language is going to make your experience that much richer. It's not fun being here for 3 years and not understanding what's being said to you on a daily basis. Sometimes it becomes a dissatisfier and people end up going back because of that one thing. So make sure you're committed to learning Spanish. It doesn't matter how you do it. All right. Number 5, not seeing the benefits of learning the culture, la cultura. Panama's culture is rich. It's a paella. It's got so many layers. You ought to make yourself a learned expat. That means go to ChatGPT, open that history book, and learn about Panama. Go to the Bio Museo. It's a museum on the causeway where you can learn a bit about Panama. We have so many cultures here. Panama is more than just the canal. Did you know that? Yes, there's a lot more about Panama than the canal. So if you're going to live here, You ought to understand. And what is culture? It is how people move around in this world. Every group has their own little way of being, talking, speaking, living. You need to know the way they do it here. Why do they say things the way they say it? Why do they say a la orden and not de nada? Keeping your ear open to the nuances of the country, the people. Why do they look like that? They look like me, but the hair texture is different. Find out why. Why do they like to eat fried Chinese rice? Why do they like to use salsa? Salsa de soya, soy sauce. Why do they like corn so much and empanadas? Listen, and I'm talking about food because, I'm obsessed with food. But there's a lot more. Why do they wear the polleras? Why do we see these polleras everywhere? Find out. Be curious. This is not an option. If you're going to live here and you want to make your stay here rich, you need to embrace the culture. And that doesn't mean you get to criticize. Oh, why do they do it like that? That's not what I'm saying. I just want you to learn. You don't need to have an opinion about everything. No, 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 no. All right. Number 6, staying in the expat bubble. There's a danger there. When you come to a new country, oh my God, I don't know how long this video is already. When you come to a new country, I don't want to say the danger, but you feel a sense of security being around people who look like you, who speak like your language, who think like you. Yes, there is a sense of comfort in that, like a cocoon, a big hug. But if you're going to be immersed in the culture here, you're going to have to step out of the bubble. And I was talking about that with a group of ladies the other day. She said, yeah, that's true. Because let's say we go to lunch a couple of times a week. She said, unless I go downstairs and speak to a few words to the security people, I order an Uber, I don't get to talk to locals that much. Ah, yes. You got to make some Panamanian friends. Let them invite you to their parties, to their homes. You need to listen to Panamanian radio station, watch the television. There's a show called HO in Panama. It comes on TVN on Sunday afternoon. I always love to watch that because what they do, they go to different sectors in the country, usually in the interior, because everybody knows about Panama City. But they go to different little countries and then they'll cook some food, they'll show some festival, they'll talk to the locals, and I'm lapping it up because I'm learning so much. Because every little province here and area has its own little flavor. There are 10 provinces here in Panama. Panama City has 26 neighborhoods. And every little neighborhood inside Panama City has its own flair. Panama City is only one city in the province of Panama. And there's a district of Panama, then there's the city of Panama, and they have 26 neighborhoods within the city. Come on. And you got to know, why do they wear what they wear? Why do they act like that? Why does the music sound different in the interior than it does here? Why do they use a tamborino? Why do they march so much during all the parades? Why do they love fireworks? You need to know those answers to the questions. Come on. Embrace the culture. All right. Number 7. Oh my gosh. But I have to tell you these things. It's so important. And I don't like to do 2-part videos. I don't. Not understanding the emotional toll of moving abroad. If you were like an MK, missionary kid, PK, pastor's kid, or your parents were in the military and you moved around a lot, if you talk to a lot of these kids, they will tell you how stressful and difficult it was to keep starting over every 2, 3 years to go to a new school, new neighborhood, new friend. That's a lot for a human being. And some of us don't make connection that easy. Well, it's no different to uproot yourself as an older person and drop yourself in a new environment where they speak a new language, where people look different, speak different, think differently. Mañana, it's a lot. So you have got to be prepared for the emotional toll that's going to take on you. Because one thing I tell you is that the honeymoon phase, where everything is shiny, oh, Panama, Panama, Panama. And you get to the point, it's like, what have I done? Did I make the right decision? You're going to start questioning your choice, your decision. So you have to go back to your original why. You know, I've always said that in my earlier videos. What is your why for coming here? Or are you just running away? Or do you have a deeper reason or deeper reasons for being here? The answer to that question is what's going to keep you grounded when you have a landlord who doesn't respond, not responsive to what you need, when you start having a lot of internet interruptions, when the light goes off while you're online or doing something, all the little inconveniences, not being able to find certain things, my chef's knife, it's going to start adding up. And then you're like, well, did I make the right decision? But you've sold your house, you've sold your car. Are you going to put your tail between your legs and go back? Or are you going to sit here and make it work? Moving abroad, I equate to the grief process. You're going to grieve what you've left, everything that's familiar to you, and everything is new and different and slower. That's going to do a number on your psyche. Yes. So expect that and say, oh, I'm having a moment. Yes. But that's when you start talking to yourself. You start being your own therapist and say, okay, Maggie, yes, this is what this is. You're grieving what you've left. You're missing your family. I grieve not having a job. I grieve not having a paycheck. I had to work through that and readjust myself. I told you when I first retired on Monday morning, it was really rough for me. I said, you mean I have nowhere to go? I don't have to wear a suit. I have no meeting. Nobody's calling me. That's an adjustment. Be prepared for it. And then when you see it, you say, okay, this is what it is. What can I do to redirect myself? Let me clean the house. Let me go to the mall. Let me go for a walk. Whatever. Just be in the moment and be in tune with yourself, with what's happening. What you don't want to do is stay in that stage for too long. You got to go through the process, like the grief process, right? Anger, you bargaining and denial. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, this is not what's happening. Nothing. Listen, you're a human being, you're not a tree. If you don't have any emotion after you've moved abroad, I don't know, something's wrong. Something wrong. Okay? So understand that there is a cost, there is an emotional cost to this. And if you don't manage it well, you're going to go back. Number 8, not researching medical options before you get here or as soon as you get here. As an older person, this is important. And I have several videos on the topic. If I remember, I will post them in the description. You go look at them again because you don't want to land in a hospital and your credit card, and then you're going to be in debt again. All right? Number 9, not making fitness a priority. Oh, and when I say fitness, I don't say you just have to have the Coca-Cola shape. I don't. Or that you don't have a few pounds that you could have lost. I do. But it's a mindset. It's a mindset that says, I'm going to keep myself in the best shape, not just physical, mental state that I can. Meaning I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to eat the right thing. I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to give up smoking, sodas, and all the things. I don't have to tell you all that. You don't want me to do a video about all that, do you? I don't think so. Because you are all bright and smart people. I do the workout 3 days a week, and I'm so thankful because it keeps me accountable because I find myself going to the gym less and less because I'm working with the ladies 3 times a week. And that's good, 3 times a week, but I could do more. I could walk. And I think we just set up our clusters in SWRA. We're going to be walking a lot more. So I'm excited about that. Fitness is a priority. As you age, you should be committed to a healthy lifestyle. You don't have time anymore to be fooling around just hurting your body with all the stuff that you're doing to it and putting into it. All right. All right. Number 10, not understanding the political realities of your new home. Now, you don't need to be a politician. You don't need to have opinions. You don't have to go on your Facebook page and blast this and that. I'm for and against. What are they doing? You are a foreigner. Zip it up. My last video says you're always going to be a foreigner. Don't get involved in local business. They will put you in your place. Yes, they will. But ignorance is not an option. You need to know who the president is, how the political system works here. All right? And all the threats that could be coming. When they talk about the canal, do you understand what that meant? Did you go do some research? Or do you feel like, oh, I don't want to know what's going on? Well, you better. Because if it comes to the point where they say, I want you out of here, you have to be ready to go. Because this is not your home. We pray that everything stays the same. I know it's possible there are going to be some changes. Somebody mentioned that they're probably going to change the requirement, the $1,000 requirement, and I think they probably will. And they're going to try to stem the flow of so many people coming. Once the city becomes too crowded and the locals start protesting, they'll do something. I can guarantee you that. So you need to understand, but you don't need to have an opinion. Okay, the last one is not managing your money well. You don't need to keep up with the Joneses. You don't have to go everywhere the girls are going. Yes, you can choose. Look at your budget, make the budget, work the budget, stay within the budget. For example, I'm going to that retreat in December, and I'm like, well, that's like 2 or 3 months worth of my budget. So when something else comes up, it's like, no, I can do it, and I have no problem saying no. I'm not one of those people to say, oh, I'm so sorry, I don't want to. I want to hang out with the girls. I don't like to go to rooftops. I've told you that before. I'm a loner. I love to be home, minding my own business or going somewhere, have a cappuccino, and just enjoying my own company. I absolutely love it. Yes, I have coffee with the ladies. Yes, I go out when I need to. I'm not a hermit, but I don't need to be around people all the time. It's like, oh, I need to go. If somebody is really loud around me, I was like, ooh, time for me to step away. I don't do noise. So people who are loud and effervescent, they're like, I can't take him for too long. It's like rap music. Manage your money from your rent to your food to your entertainment budget. Make sure if you have things that you're responsible for at home, you take care of that. Make sure you have a cushion. I think Mary Golf was talking about that. Don't be the broke expat, she said. Yes, because you sit here and you're like, well, if I run out of money, what do I do? Who's going to subsidize me? You know, for me, I'd have to go back and live with my daughter in her little windowless apartment in DC. Ow! No, I probably would stay in Florida with my aunt. She's got a big old house. She's like, when are you coming home? I'm like, not soon. But anyway, I hope you enjoy these points that I think as an expat who's been here, who is happy here, who's had a good transition. And after 3 years, I think I can say that I love Panama more than when I first got here. I'm very quiet. I don't get involved with stuff, but I'm very aware of what's going on. I don't need to criticize. It is what it is. I'm just grateful to be here. So the things you need to remember is that rushing to rent could be a problem for you. Number two, trying to fit in too fast, too soon. Just give yourself time. Don't overdo the food stuff. Give yourself time to try everything that Panama has to offer in terms of their culinary choices, but cook at home, and eat well. Number four, not understanding the importance of learning the language. Learning Spanish will make your experience that much richer. Number five, not seeing the benefit of learning the culture. Come on, la cultura. It is such a nice culture. You want to learn all about it. And I'm like, I want to hear it all. I want to learn it all. All right, not understanding the danger of staying in the expat bubble and not stepping outside of that to experience this gorgeous country and culture, not understanding the emotional toll of moving abroad, the emotional toll. People can get depressed and then they start drinking and doing other things. Be careful, sis. When you by yourself in that apartment, if you're drinking yourself to death, there is no one there to see you. So, yes, no judgment, but are you safe doing that? Is that how you manage the emotion, the fear of the unknown, growing old, the fear of being found in this apartment by yourself? You have to be okay with it. You have to work all that in your mind because that is your new reality and you chose it. No one forced you, you chose it, right? Not researching medical insurance options here as a foreigner. Yes, you have the option of going to those public hospitals, but do you want to end up there? That's your choices. You just need the information. Whatever choice you make is yours. No judgment here. Not making fitness a priority. Number nine. Number 10, not understanding the political landscape here in your new home. You cannot be ignorant and, oh, I don't need to know. Not an option, sis. And the last one, the big one, is not managing your money well to the point where you might run out of money. And I have told the sisters in SWRA that we all should try to supplement our income just in case government is still shut down. We don't know what might happen. We don't know what might happen to Social Security. We need to put ourselves in a position that we can still survive and stay here should anything happen. All right. I hope you enjoy this. I'm not going to say any more because I know this video is long, and my apologies. But I felt it was important as a newcomer that you know why I'm so happy here. I did the homework and I stay in my lane. I don't spend my money. I just keep I mind my own little business, pay my bills, and life is good. And you can do the same. All right, sis? So I'll see you in the next video. God loves you. You know I love you. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Bye.